There it is. Okay. Oh, I didn't do a live on Sunday at 5, as I usually do every week, give or take some time. So I'm doing one now, and I almost didn't because once again, as often happens, I got to the point where I'm like, oh, it's dinner time, and I could go do a live, but man, I'm so hungry. I want to eat. So I've got my food in final cooking right now, and I'm gonna do a quick live. This one's not gonna be like a 2-hour because I'm too hungry. Anyway, so I had a couple things I can talk about today. One was this is just like a total nerd thing I was thinking about the other day when I was out digging some dirt. I was thinking about how it always kind of annoys me that you need computers to like fly a spaceship around. If you have like a warp drive and you can go from like planet to planet or like star system to star system, you need like a computer to know where the hell you're going and where you are and all that. But then I was thinking about it. Wait a minute. No, you don't. If you know the constellations around your planet, if you fly away from your planet and you look back at your planet, behind your planet, you should still see the same constellations that would be there if you were looking at it from your planet, right? Because you're still in line with it. But then everywhere else you look, there will be all these screwed up constellations until you look directly away from your planet. Then you see another constellation that so you get the Earth view of constellations from there and from there, right? But then it's like, wait, how do you know which way goes back to Earth and which way goes away? Well, the direction of Earth will have an extra star because that's our sun, right? You could totally navigate without a computer in outer space, as long as you know the constellations around any planet you want to get to. Now I kind of want to make a video game like this, where you have to learn the constellations, and then you can fly away from them as like a planet, and you could be in outer space anywhere, and you could tell how to get home by saying, there's what's that? There's the Big Dipper with an extra star. That must be the direction of Earth. But then over here, be totally unrecognizable constellations. And the reason this happens is obviously, I presume everyone gets what I'm talking about, all right? But just in case anyone's missing it, when you're looking at a constellation, the stars are not like all in the same plane. They're all like spread out all over the place, right? But if you move straight away from them and straight toward them, you still see the same pictures, the same constellations. But if you move sideways, so if I'm looking at a constellation over here and you move sideways, the stars are going to move at different speeds because they're different distances. So it messes up all the ones around you, except directly where you came from and directly to where you're going. Anyway, that's just like nerdy stuff I've been thinking about. Hold on, I got to fix my shorts are going to fall off. I just had a shower and I didn't put my shorts on tight. Anyway, so I also had an adventure the other day. A few days ago, someone I know said, hey, Jaimie, on Saturday, there's a swim thing. They're swimming from, this resort to this resort. You should come. And I'm like, okay. And I know that from this resort to this resort is more than a mile, but I don't even know how far it is. And I don't know if this swim is like a race or it's just like people hanging out and going swimming or what. So I'm like, all right, whatever, I'm going. So, I get in my boat and I got all my kids and I got their mom too, because she needed to go to town. Yes, I still interact with my kid's mom. Even though we have separate lives, we still interact with our, raising our kids and everything. Anyway, so we all got in my boat and drove a couple hours to town, to also pick up some packages and do some other stuff. Ooh, actually the package I got is a push lawnmower. I didn't put it together yet, but anyway, I'll get into that some other time. So we get there, and we left real early in the morning so we could make sure we got there early enough for this swim. And I don't know if this swim is like competitive thing or even how long it is. I have no idea what. So I'm like, I'm gonna show up with my flippers and a swim mask. And I was also wearing like cargo shorts, which kind of almost defeat the point of wearing flippers. But I still get more propulsion out of flippers than I get drag from cargo shorts. So I'm fairly certain that with my flippers, even if the distance is like farther than I'm prepared to swim at that time, I'm going to be able to make it with my flippers, right? Like no problem. So anyway, I get there and I get to the beach and there's a whole bunch of people there. I don't know, there's like 50 people or so. And I'm like, what's the deal with this? Where are we going? What's going on? So someone explains, oh, we swim from here to there. I'm like, do you know how far it is? Yeah, 1.5 miles. I'm like, okay, 1.5 miles. Got it. I haven't swam 1.5 miles in a while. And I'm like, I'm bringing my flippers. And I look around and yeah, like half the people have flippers. And some people are in kayaks and some people are in boats. And it's like, and everyone's just like, yeah, it's just a chill thing, man. It was just like a chill swim from here to there, 1.5 miles. And, there'll be some boats with us to make sure no other boats come and run us over. I'm like, this sounds amazing. Awesome. This is going to be super fun, right? But I'm also thinking, this is going to get competitive, isn't it? This is going to get competitive. But then I was like, okay, I got my flippers and I got cargo shorts and I got like a swim mask, not goggles. Like I am not decked out for racing anyone, right? This is not a competitive. I'm just going to have fun. And my friend who I went there with, he's like, yeah, he's got like a snorkel gear on. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go across and, inspect the coral on the way. It's like not a race or anything, right? So we're getting close to going. And I'm talking to some lady and I'm like, oh yeah, these are all my kids. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, they're just going to hang out here with their mom. And she says, oh, free babysitter, eh? I know people say this. It is like the weirdest thing to say, I think. Like that a parent hanging out with their kids at the beach is like a free babysitter. Like this is one of the problems with our weird civilization that people think that way. Like no, like when you're a parent hanging out with their kids is a normal thing. It's not like anything yet. Anyway, so someone finally in a kayak says, okay, I'm going. And then, not many people pay attention. So I'm like, oh, look, somebody's going. We better go catch up. And then like half the people are not paying attention still. And some other guy's like, oh, okay, we're going now. Anyway, so everyone gets in the water. And a few people are like, they're like raring to go. And so they take off. And I'm kind of I'm just going to go in the middle of the pack and chill. Because I haven't swum 1.5 miles. I don't know, mile. I might get a cramp or something. I don't know. So anyway, I start going and there's some kayakers and stuff around and I'm just kind of swimming along. And then I turn around and just swim on my back and look back and it's cool because there's like all these people just going into the water. And then I go back to swim a little more. And then I noticed up ahead, there's kind of like a lead group sort of. And I'm like, well, maybe I should just go swim up with them. I'm gonna go catch up with them. So, I'm like diving down and looking at the corals and stuff too, but I'm like, kind of speeding up a bit. And then I catch up to the front people and I notice there's one particular leader who's in the front. And I recognize her because I did a triathlon with her. Well, I guess against her technically, but I did a triathlon with her like 6 months ago or something. And, she is like wearing her real suit and she does not have flippers and she's got her fancy goggles and she is going for it. Like she is swimming. Like this is a workout for her. And I'm like, oh, no one else is swimming with her. I'm going to swim with her. So give her some company, it's nice when you're trying to go fast to have someone kind of pushing you a little bit. But of course I have flippers on. So I'm swimming along. And then, every now and then I have to slow down, do some diving at the coral, because the whole way across, it wasn't that deep. Like you dive down to the bottom pretty easily. So we're kind of swimming along for a while, and there's some jellyfish, but it was okay. It wasn't too many, but we're still swimming along. And then this guy in like a Speedo and like decked out to go fast and wearing flippers, he comes up beside us and I'm swimming along and I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? I mean, I'm not going to race this lady who's not wearing flippers. But this guy who's wearing a Speedo and wearing flippers, if he starts to pass us, well, I'm going with him. So anyway, sure enough, he starts going faster and I start speeding up. And then I look, the lady I was swimming with, she like stops and she's just like, oh, I gotta take a break. And I guess maybe I was pushing her a little harder than she was prepared to do. I don't know, but she's probably gonna have a good time at the end. But anyway, so this guy in his Speedo, he is going. And I'm like looking at my cargo shorts and I'm like, cargo shorts my butt. Oh, I'm swimming. Let's go, baby. So then I started thinking, well, I can't let my kids see me lose a race. They've never seen me lose a race in my life. And then there's this guy who on these lives, he always says, Jaimie always wins. And I'm like, well, I gotta live up to that. So I start swimming faster and faster. And then, so at first I was just keeping up with this guy, but then I started pulling ahead a little bit. And then honestly, I got a little disappointed because I was like, I'm really not pushing it that hard. And I'm leaving him behind. And then I was like, well, now I'm in the lead. Now I just gotta go. And there was maybe like half a mile left. And I was like, feeling real fresh, like I hadn't even done that much. Probably because like most of the stuff I do is just like grueling and like really hard. And I spend all day like digging and moving heavy stuff and all this stuff, right? So the swim was a piece of cake. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I got to get some workout out of this, right? I got to get some exercise. So then I start gunning it. I'm just like swimming like fast, you know? And I have a history of competitive swimming in the past. I haven't done any competitive swimming in quite some time. But, you know, most of you probably know that I ran track and field for a while. But before that, I was like a competitive swimmer. Anyway, so I'm like swimming. And then the jellies came. Oh my God, there were so many jellies, so many jellyfish. Like probably an average of like a meter apart. Just all over the place for the entire last half mile. And so like some of them were not wide enough to get through. So I'm like swimming, like all up and down and weaving through all these jellies. And I'm looking back and it's funny because like behind a certain point, everyone's just kind of swimming. I can see their heads kind of bobbing up, you know, up and down at a regular rate and their arms going. But then like at a certain point closer to me, everyone's like disappearing. Their feet are coming up. They're like diving all over the place. It looks like they're being attacked by like sea monsters. And I'm like, yep, they're weaving through the jellies too. So anyway, weaving through the jellies for like half a mile. Then finally I get up to this resort. No, actually, before that, I wasn't even sure where we were going because, like, I knew the name of the place, but I don't know what it looks like by the roof because there was no sign out or anything. So I'm asking this lady on a stand-up paddleboard, who is, I guess, she was like staying with the leaders, which was very nice because it's, you know, if you're swimming through a place where there's boats, it's nice to have something tall to indicate to any boats that might run you over that there are people there. Anyway, it was a very, very safe event, very good. So I asked this lady, she didn't speak English, so, you know, no, I said, ¿Qué color techo? You know, what color roof am I looking for? Because there's all these buildings, and she says, the white one. And I'm like, oh, crap. There's like a dozen different white roofs. And I'm like, you know. Anyway, we get it straightened out, and I figure out which roof I'm supposed to be aiming for while trying to dodge these damn jellyfish. And I did not get jellyfished. Anyway, I finally get up to like close to the deck, like the deck of this restaurant resort place. And there's these two guys up there who are like, oh, the ladder's over here. And I'm like, and I stop and I'm looking at them. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just like drifting the other way. And like, wow, check out this current. Can you believe this? And I'm just, and I'm just thinking, man, people are going to have fun with this current when they come up. Anyway, I can swim against the current easily to get to the ladder, but I'm just like, I don't need a ladder. I just climb out. So then I get out, take my flippers off, and some dude's like, you're first. And I'm like, yeah, man, I was wearing flippers. I'm pretty sure this wasn't a race, but you know, deep down inside a little bit, I was like grand champion of the universe. Anyway, so then as everyone starts coming in, everyone's like veering off this way because the current is taking them down that way. And so they'll swim in like this and then swim back to get to the ladder. And the later people, how do you say this? The longer it went on, the slower swimmers there were. And it got to the point where there were, I'm standing on this deck looking at the ocean, and there are people swimming against the current to get to this ladder, literally not moving, like swimming, and they're almost going backwards. Anyway, everyone got out, and it was a very fun day, fun event. It was very excellent. Oh, and at the end, and they also gave us water when we got there, which was very nice. Whatever this resort. Anyway. At the end, I didn't know how I was going to get back. I was like, should I jump in and swim back right now? It's going to take me like 40 minutes to get back. I think it was about 40 minutes, that swim. But then there was some guy in a boat, one of the guys who like drove across with the swimmers, real slow. And he had a whole bunch of people piling into this boat. And I go over and I'm like, are you going back? He's like, yes, I'm going back. And I was like, you got space? And he's like, hey, hop on, man, hop on. So I get in his boat, and my friend who did the swim too, and he swam at the back. He was like, I don't want any of this race crap. I am chilling. I'm going snorkeling. He almost caught a lobster. Anyway, he's like, oh, well, I'll get in the boat too. So we get in this boat, and we're looking back, and we're like, okay, we gotta go a mile and a half that way. There's the beach right there, right? So this guy starts driving a different direction, and I'm like, huh? Well, wait, why? Oh, I don't know what's going on here. And so he ends up driving somewhere else, dropping us off on the same island as that beach. So we were on the same piece of land as that beach, but now we're 4 miles away from the freaking beach because we went way the wrong way before. I guess he's thinking, people want to get back to the main island, but I'm like, no, I want to go to the beach. Anyway, so we were like, well, let's just get a taxi. We can just walk. We didn't have shoes. We're carrying our flippers. We're like half naked. But I'm like, well, do you have any money? He's like, yeah, I got money. I don't know where he had this money. We were swimming for a mile and a half, but he had money on him somehow. Anyway, so we got a cab back, and everything was good. The kids had a super good time at the beach, and yeah, excellent day. And then I picked up some packages. One of which was a push lawnmower. Here, I'll show you one of the pieces. Oh, the good piece. These kind of lawnmowers, these old style things where, let me get my hands out of there before I start. Turn the wheels, it makes this thing spin around that slices the grass. Anyway, I always thought those were cool. And someone sent it to me. So super thank you. He also sent me a Frisbee. And the Frisbee and the lawnmower go together because up on the hill up behind my house where I have that big flattened out area that I've been working on for, I don't know, like 2 years, like every day. Not every day. Some days it's rainy. Like today I couldn't work on it because it was too muddy. Like, most days I'll work on it for like an hour or two in the morning or afternoon, whatever. And I'm flattening out this big area. And it's getting close to finished. And I'm a little bit concerned because when I'm done that digging, I don't know what I'm gonna do for like my main day exercise, because that's like a major part of what like my exercise for the day. It's going up there and doing a bunch of wheelbarrow loads of dirt, moving them where they go. And between every wheelbarrow load, I do an exercise because I've learned that just doing the same repetitive thing over and over makes you sore. But if you do a wheelbarrow of dirt and then you do a set of push-ups and then you do a wheelbarrow of dirt and then you do a set of chin-ups, then you do a wheelbarrow of dirt and then you do some whatever, then it's a little more tiring, but I always feel better. Just spreading out the work on my body. Anyway, so I'm gonna get fuzzy grass growing up on that hill. on the plateau of the hill. It's real nice and flat now, and it's like fuzzy grass, like golf course grass, you know. And then that'll be like the frisbee zone and the soccer zone and the, you know, just sports, volleyball, I don't know, badminton, whatever we have, baseball, and the lawnmower is important so we can keep the grass real nice, right? And that's probably the only place I'll use that lawnmower, which is gonna be super useful for that. So that's everything that's going on today, except right now I'm cooking some food, which hopefully is doing well. I left the fire going. It didn't have much left to do. Here, let me read some comments, see what's going on here. Oh yeah, I gotta turn up my brightness so I can see. And again, my tablet is starting to die on me, so it's a little bit hard to read because the screen's fritzing out a bit. But anyway, hey Jaimie, hey, what's going on? Diddler says, hello builder, space talk. That's it. Yes, space talk. I'm actually wearing pants today. Classic dude Mike, you're wearing pants today? I always think it's hilarious when people give me crap when I'm not wearing a shirt, because like half of you guys are at home sitting in some lounge chair in your underwear, half covered in Doritos, and like no one's giving you crap. Anyway, Mike is actually wearing pants today. That's great. I don't know. Although you live in one of those cold places, right? Like right now it's November. For a lot of people, it is like November. And I used to live in a place where like November was cold. Of course, here, I'm wearing a shirt because it's warm. If I was wearing a shirt right now, I'd be sweating. Tropical island. Anyway. Okay, Diddler says, if the constellations you are using are far enough, yes. Go far enough, they'd be a different shape. Go far enough, they'd be a different shape. Well, yeah, if you go far enough, they would be a different shape, but you'd have to go pretty damn far. Like this is, for anyone who showed up after this, I was talking about how you could navigate in outer space going from star system to star system by the constellations. So if you're on Earth and you know constellations in every direction, then you could fly off in any direction, look back at the Earth, and you would see an Earth constellation. But then the further away you got from where the Earth is, the more distorted the constellations would become. And then looking away, you'd again see a constellation that you could see from Earth, because you'd be lined up with Earth, right? So you'd be seeing the same thing. And you could tell which direction Earth is because there'd be an extra star in the direction that Earth is. So you could totally navigate without a computer or anything. And yeah, some people are mentioning if you go far enough, yes, if you went to another galaxy, you're gonna look back, you're not gonna see the same constellations. But if you're going from one star system to the next, it'll totally work. And to the next, yeah. This is already way further than anything we're doing right now, right? So I'm not thinking about like going halfway across the galaxy. I'm just thinking like go 1 or 2 star systems away, 3 or 4 star systems away, right? Where it would totally still work. Anyway, go far enough and they'd be a different shape. Yes, that is true. Okay, Diddler says, then at a larger scale, gravitational lensing comes to play and complicates things. But I like this talk. Yes, gravitational lensing. Yes. But yeah, the farther you get, the less it would work. But if you were navigating like star to star to star, you could like follow your breadcrumbs all the way back. But if you were trying to go like halfway across the galaxy in one shot, totally would not work. We have nothing that will get you halfway across the galaxy anyway. So Classic Dude Mike says, you got to check out the 1960s Japanese superhero Ultraman. Kind of silly, yet so nostalgic and fun. I have seen like little bits of Ultraman before, but I don't know. I remember seeing like an episode when I was a kid, although I don't remember what happened in it. Okay, Jasper says, are you going to make island bigger or higher with walls, sea defense? I don't know. It's possible. On that, sort of along those lines, I got into a discussion with my kids. I don't remember exactly how this came up, but we ended up voting on whether we'd rather have a big sailboat or a giant robot. And amongst my kids, it was 3-1 giant robot, which I would have guessed actually. So and then it got me thinking, maybe it really got me thinking more about giant robot. Because there are various times when I'm at home and I'm like, okay, I've done all the stuff I really want to do today, and I have a couple more hours before I need to go make dinner. What do I do? What do I do? I can start filling in those blank spots with working on giant robot stuff. And of course, when there's a rainy day, I can't build stuff outside. And anyway, my kids have got me thinking. Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. Nah, really? Wait, is that the? I think that's the guy I'm thinking of with like the tattoo of dots on his neck. Is that the right guy? I don't know. I never played Grand Theft Auto. Flipper Faris says, just jelly chillaxin, coziest water life. Nothing bothers the jellyfish. Oh yeah, jellyfish. Life is good. Then suddenly humans. Oh yeah. I'm fully aware that when I travel through a field of jellyfish, although they are bothering me, I'm probably bothering them more. Although I very much try not to touch them. And I didn't get nailed by any jellyfish, but I'm sure a few people hit them. Glad you caught me live too, Davy Concrete. I presume you're doing some concrete stuff. Wizard of the North said, I had one of those push mowers when I was a kid. Always loved the sound it made when I rolled it along. Yeah, I know, eh? Super fun. I guarantee when I get the lawn going and I get that mower out there, my kids are going to want to do it for sure. Let's see. Frisbee golf, baby. Maybe I'll get into some frisbee golf. But if I do frisbee golf, I'm not going to want like 18 different frisbees. That's just too much for me. Like I'm a pretty several different discs. I can't. It's too much. It's too far for me. I can't go that far. Frisbee. This is frisbees. Your energy is contagious. Thank you. Oh well, you're welcome. I'm glad. Davey Concrete says wheelbarrow of dirt, then smoke a cigarette. Oh God, that would not make you feel better. That would make you feel worse. Oh cripes! I pushed a button. All right, that was my fault. I pushed the wrong button. Why was that button even out? I was trying to get the comments to show up. Anyway, yeah, that was totally my fault. I got disconnected there. Smoke a cigarette. No way, man. Damn, you look cool, old man. All right, nice. That's what I've been going for. I've been going for cool, Growing this big old beard. I'm like, I'm going to be extra cool. The ladies are going to love it. Oh, man. Diesel, what's going on? Okay, Wizard of the North says, reminds me of the Star Trek DS9 episode where the ancient Bajorans traveled to Cardassia. Is that the one where Jake and his dad, I can't call him Jake and Cisco because it's Jake Cisco and his dad. What was, anyway, the Cisco, what the frick is his name? Anyway, Jake and his dad get in this solar sail thing and they're going on a journey and then something happens halfway and some stuff crashes and breaks and then suddenly they're going faster and they realize how the trip was possible because some natural occurring thing and whatever. Anyway, that was a cool episode. I did not watch all of DS9. I kind of lost interest in that one. Max Headroom with a beard, maybe. Zimbles, you look like old Albert Einstein, but you built like young Arnold. Actually, my kids have gotten into Arnold lately because I showed them a Conan movie and a couple Terminator movies. So now my son, he's 6. He's like He's just this little skinny thing, like I was when I was a kid. Although he's got muscle. He's not like weak or anything, but he's just this little thing. And he'll walk around the house being a Terminator. I am a Terminator. And of course, 6-year-olds doing Arnold's voice are hilarious. And then my 4-year-old daughter gets into it too. Oh, it's great. Classic Dude Mike, who is wearing pants today, said, I'd like to see a Saturday morning cartoon called Jaimie and his Super Kids. You'd solve crimes and have a band, sort of like Scooby-Doo. Oh, a band. I don't know if you'd want to hear me and my kids making music. They sing a lot, though. They make music and play drums, and my oldest daughter screams, "Stop it, please!" Because she wants to sing the songs right. Yeah, that's the episode, Wizard of the North. That's the Star Trek episode, right? That was a cool episode because, like, Jake and his dad. Oh, what an awesome adventure to do with your dad, even though it was just a fake thing in a sci-fi show. But yeah, they decided they're going to try to recreate this journey that the Bajorans had from their homeworld to this far off place that seems like it wouldn't be possible to do. But they're like, well, let's just try it and see how it goes. And it turns out, like, partway there, something happens totally unexpected that makes them go way faster than they thought they were gonna. And then it's like, oh, that's how they did it. Okay. Anyway, Wizard of the North says to Classic, instead of the mystery machine, they ride around on one of Jaimie's spider bots. Yeah. Oh, Tomaters is here. What's going on, man? So, yeah, when I was talking to my kids earlier about either getting a sailboat or building a giant robot, yeah, my one daughter's like, oh, spider robot. Because, I have this spider robot that spider tank that I 3D printed. And it works if you hold the wires up to it and everything, right? But every now and then she bugs me to get the radio control stuff on it and like make it and finish it and get the blaster on it. She is super into that stuff. But yeah, I'm just, I'm busy doing a lot of things. I gotta pick which things I can do when I can do them. How long have I been going on here? Half an hour? Yeah, I should get off here in a few minutes and go eat some dinner. But if anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to slap them down here. Excellent to see you today, Tomaters. I'm glad you're feeling better than you were not too long ago. I hope everything's going well with you. Obviously, not everything is going well, but I hope generally things are going well. You be good at voice for cartoons. Oh yeah, I do. My kids do enjoy my storytelling, which I'll often have a lot of crazy voices. Tomaters doing better, thank you. That is excellent. I'm glad you're doing better, man. Keep getting stronger. Speaking of doing better, I don't know why that reminds me of this, but there's been a peregrine falcon flying around here lately, which is pretty awesome. If you asked me what a peregrine falcon looked like before I saw it, I would have not been able to describe it. But as soon as I saw that bird, I was like, I think that's a peregrine falcon. Like, it's very striking, like it stands out. Like if there's a lineup of birds, like the bald eagle's gonna stand out and the peregrine falcon's gonna stand out. So anyway, I see this bird and first my son is like, I think it's an owl. And I was like, no, I think that's a peregrine falcon. Anyway, so we go look it up on the internet, totally peregrine falcon. And it's been hanging around here for like the last week. We keep seeing it. And very cool bird. I saw a few of them yesterday. There's like a family, I guess, or something. But yeah, those things are awesome. I want to see it diving for some fish at like 300 miles an hour. Classic Dude Mike says they actually have a cartoon version of Jaimie on the spider robot box from his toy robot days. That is true. They had a really weird write-up on the side of it too. That was supposed to have a bunch of hidden meanings. I didn't know what was going on with that. It was the marketing guys were in charge of that. Colombo says, fastest animal in the world. Yes, peregrine falcon, fastest animal in the world. Now, its top speed is only achieved when it's in a dive. So I don't know. I feel like there should be a caveat. Because like with a lot of animals, if you took them up into the air and dropped them, Like they would go really fast, although the peregrine falcon does fly itself up there before diving. But I feel like there should be a separate category for like divers and then like birds that are going that speed like horizontally. All right, it looks like I'm getting dark here. I'm running out of light anyway. My air mattress broke. I cut and filled with straw. So your air mattress broke and you filled it with straw? That's great. That's kind of hilarious. Make sure I don't know, how do you keep bugs out of that? Put some saffron in or something? I don't know what you do to keep bugs out of there. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat my dinner because I'm starving Marvin right now. And I hope everyone is having a good evening or morning or afternoon or lunch or dinner or whatever you got, wherever you are. And Tomaters, I'm so glad you're doing better, man. I was missing you there for a while. All right. Hopefully, what's his name? Hopefully Mr. Landfill's doing good right now. It's the first time I haven't seen him on one of these. I'm actually amazed at how often he catches them, even when they're totally unplanned time or anything. Or okay, the quality of the video has gone Blair Witch. Yeah, I haven't turned the light on. I kind of decided to myself that I need to stop this when it starts getting dark so I can go eat. So yes, this is a perfect time. All right, I'll catch you guys later.